So the questionnaires, the data templates, the configuration worksheet and so on are already some of the very important components that we use in Rapid Start services in NAV. Now remember the process flow that we had a look at, and there we saw that based from the worksheet we can create a package, and from the package we can create files. Let's now have a look at what a configuration package is. Now let's revisit the flow but from a different perspective. So remember, we start with the creation of a configuration worksheet. We can include configuration templates, so the data templates we just had a look at, also the questionnaires. And then all this is included in a configuration package. So from the configuration worksheet, we will then create the configuration package. And from the configuration package, we will create a package file. And that's something that we will do by running the export function, as we will see. And these files, again, remember the process flow, we can then apply to new companies that we set up in NAV. Now, how can we create these packages and files? Let's go to the application. So here in the application, let me go back to the configuration worksheet. And I have a configuration worksheet for the customer table and all of its related tables, as you could see. So remember the function getRelatedTables. And now we should create a package for this worksheet. And as you can see here, the package code is blank and the package exist field is also blank. So this means that we didn't already assign a package to these lines. And that's something that we can do by using the assignPackage function. So again, we should have a package in order to create a file. And to get there, first of all, I will select the lines for which I would like to create a package. You can select all the lines, or you can only select several lines if you want. Up to you. So let me select all the lines here. Suppose I would like to create a package for all the lines. I can now run the assignPackage function, and now I will create a new package. Remember that I explained that you can create a library of different package files. Well, here you can already see one package that Kronos has created, and I will create a second one. So suppose that this is, I will call this customer migration. So the package name is migrate customer data. There you go. You can enter a product version, you don't have to. The same for language and processing order. You can enter these fields. I will leave them blank. I will now click on OK. So you see now that I have a second package, and I will select now the package that I would like to assign in my worksheet. And by doing this, you can see now that the package code is filled and that the packages exist field mentions yes, which means that we have assigned a package to all these lines. Let's now have a look at the package. So if I now go to packages, you can see my two packages that I have created. So this is the first one. So if I double click, you can see here all the tables that were included in my worksheet that we just created. And if we have a look at the other one, so the one that already exists, you can also see here all the different tables included in the package. So I can see tables like reminder level, inventory setup, number series, tariff numbers for Intrastat, item journal lines, and so on. So quite a lot of information, quite a lot of tables that are included. So basically now what we can do, I will not already do this, I will first explain a couple of other things, but we can now go to export package and create a file, which means that everything that is included here in the package will be included in my Rapid Start file. Very important, but it's also important to have a look at what we want to include. And let's look for the country table. There we go. So you can see here table 9 country region. So a very good example. So I'm starting from my demo company Kronos International, and Kronos International has 66 countries set up. So if I click here, you will see that the system will open the country region table, and you can see lots of countries. Probably for the new company that I'm going to set up an NAV, maybe a little bit too much, but it's easier to remove existing countries than having to create all countries manually. So which means that this is a very interesting country table that I would like to use for all my new companies that I will create in NAV. Because they contain a lot of countries, they are created based on the standard ISO codes and so on. So very useful to include these countries. So this means that I do not only want to include the table in my rapid start file, but I would also like to include the content of the table, so the 66 countries that are included in the country table of my demo company. So that's what I would like to do for country region. But it's a complete different story for the customer table. Because again, we are working in a demo company, and also here you will see that this table contains demo data. But where I can use the 66 countries in my new companies, for the 71 demo customers, this is of course completely different, because these are really non-existing demo customers, which are very useful in my demo company, but which I don't want to use in my new company that I'm going to set up in NAV. So I would like to exclude these 71 demo customers, and the same for vendors, the same for items, and so on. Now, how can we exclude these demo customers? So how can we exclude demo data that we don't want to include in the rapid start file? Well, by applying a filter. So you can see here that some lines are filtered, and the lines that are filtered are typically filtered in a way to exclude the data that we have in a specific table. So let me click on the filter. So let me show you the filter. So I will go here to Table and Filters. And here you can see the filter that Kronos, so my demo company, applied. So we say that we only want to include records where the number is blank. And of course, there's no customer with a blank number. We don't have a vendor with a blank number and so on, which basically means that no records will be included here for this table, you see? So this is the way that you have to exclude data. So demo data that you don't want to include is excluded by applying a filter. Now the fact that you have to apply a filter also means that you can include only certain records, for example, you see, because we are filtering, we have the flexibility to filter on any fields. So that could also be interesting that you say, okay, most of the demo data records should be excluded, but not all of them. Again, try to specify this with a filter, and you can only include certain records. But again, by applying this filter, no customers, no vendors, and no items will be included, for example. Okay, so that's very important. Again, you will have to specify if you want to include demo data or not. Now, once that this is done, I can now create my file. And again, this is something I will do by clicking here on Export Package. And now the system will ask me to save, as you can see here, the rapid start file. So the extension is .rapidstart. I will click on Save, and let me save it on the desktop. I will stick with the standard file name. And there you go. Now I have a rapid start file that I can start using now when creating new companies.